What are the probabilities that Bitcoin will retest $87,000, then crash towards $72,000, then retest $91,000 and then crash towards $44,000? We will analyze. Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Salmon from MCP Paradise. 6 days ago I told you Bitcoin will go down towards this support zone. As you can see, we are there. Then I told you in the latest video that I have recorded for you 2 days ago that we will start moving to the upside. As you can see, we are right now moving to the upside, and the question is, what's gonna happen next? Can we retest really this resistance at $87,000, or we gonna continue to go higher, or is this gonna be our end and we will go down from here? Let's analyze. For that, let's zoom out a little bit and shift our focus towards weekly time frame. This is ultra high time frame chart, ladies and gentlemen. 2 days ago our weekly candle closed after retesting this moving average trend line. We have not been able to recover above it, and we have turned it into resistance. You remember that since January with ParadiseTeam VIPs we are making most of our profits as bears, because after we have finished this impulse where we have been bullish for the past 3 years, we have turned bearish exactly at the top, and we have been updating you about that. So after I have called the top at $109,000, we have crashed, and this moving average trend line, this orange trend line that previously worked as a support, is right now turned into resistance, as you can see, and the weekly candle closed below it, and right now by the look of it we have formed a clear shooting star candlestick pattern. As you know from our website MyCryptoParadise.com, if you are in our free MCP University, a shooting star is usually a reversal candle after some kind of an uptrend, ladies and gentlemen, and that's what we are having right here at the moment. So the probabilities that this is indeed a contracting triangle and this move to the downside wasn't just a deviation and wick out lower is right now increased on probabilities. We will be talking about this. We will count the waves. Let me just put you back into the context, because it means that with the highest probability we have not finished the first A wave of our zigzag, and the A wave right now, because we have closed this candle like this, we have also closed it below our Fibonacci retracement level, below that $85,000, ladies and gentlemen. Right now the probabilities are pointing towards the fact that we need to finish this A wave of our zigzag by retesting this structural support at $72,000, and only after that we will have that B corrective mode wave towards $93,000, and after that we will have the final C wave of our zigzag pattern that will take us towards $44,000. And as you already know from our previous videos, this is just going to be a corrective higher degree super cycle, grand super cycle degree wave, and after that we are starting a new third impulsive wave that will take us towards $240,000, but about that later. Let's now zoom in into this possible A wave that is forming right now, and let's shift our focus to high time frame by zooming in daily chart. So let's just recapitulate the price action development count. You remember that after we have been successfully predicting all the waves inside of this ending diagonal, sold everything right here at the top together, we have started a new trend in an opposite direction, and this trend is developing in form of an leading diagonal. The leading diagonal is having 5 subwaves. We have created first one, second one, third one, fourth one, and right now we are in a progress of a 5th one. We believe that the 5th one could be truncated and finished right here, the ending diagonal, and we would start the B wave of our supercycle degree, the grand supercycle degree B wave of our zigzag formation right here. However, based on analyzing the lower time frames, we have then understood that it is not possible, because this pullback to the downside is pretty long. It wasn't just a nice wick out and then continuation to the upside towards our resistance right here. So we believe that the A wave did not stop yet. It is still in formation, and the 5th wave wasn't truncated in fact, and we believe that the 5th wave and the whole A wave of a zigzag will finish at that $72,000, ladies and gentlemen. Because of that, it seems like this is indeed the contracting triangle that I have been explaining in the previous video, and right now we have started a new impulse towards that $72,000 by breaking below this contracting triangle, and right now we are creating a second corrective wave of our new impulse. Then we will have a third wave, fourth wave and fifth wave that will finish the super cycle fifth wave right here at around $72,000 at our major high time frame demand zone, ladies and gentlemen. So right now it really seems like we are creating the second wave, and I would like to see that retesting our contracting triangle, turning this ascending trend line that previously worked as a support, as you can see right here, for 3 times, and turn it into a resistance and then continue lower. Right now we can clearly see that we are fighting hard with that $85,000 moderate resistance that previously was working as a support, as you can see on the structure price section right here. We are also being resisted by this moving average trend line, so it is a tough nut to crack. But once we zoom in towards our lower time frames, you will understand why there is a possibility that we can have a throwover towards that $87,000, maybe even higher. So right now let's analyze from our high time frame perspective the Fibonacci sequence, right? So by placing our tool to the swing high and the second point to the swing low, we can clearly see that we have entered the resistance zone of 0.618 Fibonacci retracement and 0.786 sequence, and the 786 is ending exactly where we would like to end the second corrective wave, ladies and gentlemen, and that's around that $87,000. It will nicely synergize with the retest of this triangle, where we will be looking for confirmations, and it will really work extremely nicely as a nice aggressive short entry that upon confirmations can take us towards that $72,000, ladies and gentlemen. It is also a structural resistance, as you can see right here. There was wick out right here, previously worked as a resistance, then as a support, as you can see right here, as a resistance again right here. So it would be really nice level to retest, and it would upon confirmation create a beautiful short opportunity. At the moment, however, looking at our oscillators, we don't see any bearish divergence just yet, and we believe if we can push a little bit higher towards that $87,000, we can increase the momentum as well, and by not breaking above this high, it will actually create a beautiful bearish divergence by making a higher high on the indicator but lower high on the price. We would confirm that behind the scenes with our deep analysis with our Paradise team, that somebody big, some big boys, some whales are distributing at these levels, and that will be one of the key confirmations for us in ParadiseTeam VIP to enter some high probability, amazing risk to reward short position on Bitcoin. Why a beautiful risk to reward? Well, because we will be able to place the stop loss very tight to our entry price, which will be around these levels. A solid stop loss in some aggressive position would be above this previous high right here. Very conservative stop loss would be above the key high time frame resistance. Depends on your trading strategy and the current risk appetite that you should be calculating based on your past performance. And as you know, the targets would be at $72,000. So even with the conservative stop loss right here, the risk to reward is absolutely amazing. So let's right now zoom in into the price section right here, and let's analyze it on our medium time frame chart. So what can we see clearly on our medium time frame chart is right now the beautiful bullish divergence that is playing out. It is exaggerated bullish divergence that I have shared with you from the previous video. That was one of the reasons why we have been expecting the price of Bitcoin to start reversing from the $82,000. There was a slight deviation below our support zone at $83,000, but by zooming into low time frame, I will explain to you what was the reason of that. Right now, also from our MACD oscillator, we can see a beautiful classic bullish divergence. That's also the reason why we are pumping right now, as the price made lower low. The histogram on the MACD indicator made a higher low, and that is a beautiful classic bullish divergence, ladies and gentlemen. It meant that the bulls are getting weaker, extremely weaker, and the bulls could take over over, as you can see. Nice volume so far. And also here you can see on the RSI indicator, if we are about to keep pushing a little bit, you can see how the momentum is getting really aggressive. So I believe that we can go above this previous high and create a beautiful bearish divergence that would support our bearish bias and reversal to the downside towards that $72,000. So after we have broken below this contracting triangle, we have created a nice impulse which subwaves we have been calculating together in the previous video. As you remember, fifth wave finished right here, and I will explain to you shortly what is this low. Okay, so firstly, this seems to be the first wave of our newly created impulse. After that, we have started a second corrective wave, right? And then we will have a third impulse to the downside. And I do believe that if we are not reclaiming the previous high right here, we will not revisit that $93,000 in this cycle. And that is also the reason why a solid stop loss would be above the previous high, above this resistance, if it's visible, that I have calculated in the previous videos from this cycle right here. Solid resistance above us. And of course, if we are about to reclaim it, that would mean that we are going to go higher. This wasn't the first wave and the count is a little bit different, but right now the probabilities suggest that this is how the plan is gonna look like. And let's right now zoom in into the second corrective wave pattern to understand where this formation can finish and from where we can start the third wave better. So right now we are on 1 hour chart. This is our low time frame analysis, and we can see that after we have finished the impulse that finished right here, we have actually started an expanded flat pattern that had A wave right here, B wave right here, and right now we are creating the C wave in an impulsive mode. But actually, if you understand the expanded flats, if you are learning the Elliott wave theory on our website mycryptoparadise.com in our MCP free university, you understand that the A wave is made in corrective mode, B wave also in corrective mode, but the C wave is in motive mode. So indeed it can take a form of an impulse or ending diagonal. And right now I will explain to you why I believe we are forming ending diagonal, and we are actually creating this expanded flat pattern where after the first wave impulse we are creating an action array, A wave, then a B wave that actually goes below the previous wave, and that also explains why we had this newly created low right here, and then we have the C wave that is created in a motive mode. And right now I will explain to you why I believe we are in an ending diagonal and why there might be a throw over towards that $87,000, ladies and gentlemen. So first of all, let's calculate the subwaves, okay? So we had this first motive mode wave, then a second, and we started to form this parallel channel. After that, we have a third wave and then a fourth wave that had a throw over below this line, okay? And if you understand the guidelines of Elliott wave theory, the alternation means that if there is a throw over during the fourth wave, there is a highly probable throw over above this ascending trend line that is working as a resistance, and the throw over of the fifth wave can actually take us toward that $87,000 before a reversal, ladies and gentlemen. If I calculate the Fibonacci sequence from this previous price action, from this previous cycle, what I can see by placing our tool to the swing high and swing low, we can see a beautiful resistance zone that is synergizing with the idea of retesting that $87,000, ladies and gentlemen. So if we get here towards this zone, ladies and gentlemen, we will be with ParadiseTeam VIPs waiting for a confirmations to enter a short trade, okay? And one of the confirmations is, for example, the USDT dominance that is right now retesting the moving average trend line. You remember from our previous videos that I've recorded 2 days ago, actually that's the latest video, we have been using USDT dominance index as a confirmation that the Bitcoin might see a correction to the upside, might see the pullback, the pump that we are experiencing right now. Why? Because we have calculated the waves of USDT dominance and we have understood that we are at resistance. And I told you, we are about to go down, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to go down, Paradisers. And as you can see, that's exactly what's happening right now. And I do believe that right now, this retest of this moving average trend line, probably even retest of this structural previously resistance, now it will be working as a support, will confluence quite quite nicely with that $87,000, ladies and gentlemen. That will be one confirmation for us. So once we see that we are retesting this support in USDT dominance and we will see that it's holding well, we are creating on lower time frames like on 15, 8 minutes, 5 minutes, some nice base above it. It will be confirmation for the short trade on Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies that we trade with ParadiseTeam VIPs. Another one, the social index that we have on our website, right? Together with the crypto fear and greed index, you can see that we are starting to get to our previous highs. Okay, so we are about to get a warning sign. However, social index is still in red numbers, ladies and gentlemen. So based on the look of it, I believe we will need to spend a little bit of time right at that resistance to catch loads of people into bullishness, okay? And then the whales, the big players, will be able to use that liquidity for short positioning. And we will be doing it with them. With ParadiseTeam VIPs, as a professional traders, we are doing our best to ride the waves of the crypto market with the whales, not with the retail, not with the 96% of other people, right? We always trying to be doing what the minority is doing, not the majority, because we understand based on the look inside of the exchanges numbers, what's going on behind the scenes, that most of the people actually within the 3 years period lose all of their money, right? And that's also the reason why we are able to stay long-term profitable and consistent in our trading results. So based on the look of the social index, I've been explaining to you in the previous videos that it's having these kind of cycles, right? We have been using it right here for confirming the top, right here for confirming the bottom, and right now we can see that we are still in the red numbers. So another confirmations for the short entry is going to be that I want to see the social index back at 60, okay? You can watch this with me on our website marketparadise.com for free as well. With the ParadiseTeam, we will be looking at some other confirmations as well from on-chain, from whales activity, etc. Based on these insights, we are able to create these professional trading insights that we share and reveal with our ParadiseTeam VIPs. And for everybody who is subscribed in this channel, I will be sharing the maximum of insights I can for free, and the next video will be on Thursday. So I will see you on Thursday. Cheers.